Well, with ZSL working on in a global arena in over 50 countries, we're delighted to be working with the Global Party and the Global Charity Trust, because that global support, when we can pull all these different countries together, using philanthropy at the core, and fund the great work that we do and the work that the Global Charity Trust does, then that's just a unique proposition that we can really engage many more people around the world in the excellent work that we both do. ZSL is a global conservation charity. We've been around since 1826, and at the moment we're working in over 50 countries globally to help protect wildlife. So we've got an EDGE program. Our EDGE program is protecting animals that are evolutionarily distinct and globally endangered. So around the world we've built a scoring system really to say which animals are at the most threat and which are the most unique on the planet. Because at the moment lots of conservation attention can be drawn to the big species that everyone knows and is aware of, but threats to animals like the scaly anteater called a pangolin. You know, it's one of the most highly traded animals in the illegal wildlife trade, and numbers are plummeting, so we're really trying to see what we can do to reverse that decline there and use our EDGE program to do it. So the EDGE Fellows program, what we can do is we can train individuals up, and then, you know, by training one person from a local area on how they can sort of change the methods to protect and safeguard wildlife, that can have a huge impact in the longer term, and that knowledge just spills out to the communities and grows and grows. So just by training one person in one area can have an impact that will last for decades. And the aim is to kind of inspire people and to make sure that there's populations that might not be around in the wild anymore, that we can breed them in zoos with the view of potentially reintroduction into the wild if their habitats become viable again. And also, where the threats are so great in the wild, just one disease could wipe out several different types of populations of species of animals. So zoos around the world work collectively to make sure that they can be protected if they do get wiped out in the wild and hopefully reintroduced later on. It ranges from a number of different species. There's things such as the corncrake bird, which went extinct in the wild in the fenlands in Cambridgeshire. So we've been using the science about how they will map the night sky as soon as they're born, and that's how they know where to go back to. So we've been breeding those at Whipsnade Zoo, and then we do releases out in the wild, let them see the night sky, and then that's seeing that population go back. So that's sort of an activity in the UK. And then we also run the global breeding program for the Sumatran tiger. At the moment, there's only 300 Sumatran tigers left in the wild. And with poaching and habitat destruction on the increase, we're trying to stop that in the ground in Sumatra. But also we make sure we run the global breeding program in zoos around the world. So again, that we can reintroduce if the population drops below the level that it currently is. In Sumatra, for example, we've got a number of anti-poaching initiatives running. We've got our conservation technology is really increasing, so we're putting camera traps out in the wild that can detect poaching threats that are coming through. And also we run an anti-poaching hotline or a tiger conflict hotline, so the local communities can call us up and say where there might be a problem, so we can get rangers on the ground in the right areas. And then we're also working with the companies that are tearing down the forest to try and encourage them to make sure they leave corridors that tigers can move between different habitat areas. So rather than just taking out huge chunks of forest, which is what they were doing, we're saying actually if you look at the science behind it, we can really help encourage wildlife to thrive even while you're still putting in your production landscapes. Our latest campaign is focusing on the Asian lion. So where we did all of that great work with the Sumatran tiger campaign previously, the Asian lions are probably the next big threat. Again, only 400 Asian lions left in the wild in a small pocket of India called the Gir Forest. So one disease outbreak or an increase in poaching incidences could wipe out these majestic animals forever. So we're really trying to raise the profile. Lots of people don't realise there's Asian lions in India. People tend to associate lions with Africa. So we're trying to bring people's knowledge up to date to say that there are lions, there's another subspecies of lions in India, and it's time to really start helping those animals out. So we've got 3 Asian lions at the moment, and we're planning to build a brand new enclosure for them that will open in 2016. When that happens, we'll be bringing in a new breeding pride of lions to increase the population that we are able to keep in London Zoo as well, which again will sort of grow the global zoo population. So if there is a loss in the wild, that they could be reintroduced later on. Out in Nepal, the rhino population, as with the rest of the planet, is just being decimated by the illegal wildlife trade. You know, there's poachers coming in from all aspects to try and take these wonderful creatures away because of the value of rhino horn to the illegal trade, the medicine. The world think it has great benefits for humans. It has absolutely no benefits for humans at all. It's about as useful as chewing your fingernails. But we've got a great conservation project going on in Nepal, and in the last year, by putting the right conservation and science behind it, not one single rhino has been poached in that project. And that's really essential, because ZSL is leading the way, making sure that we can identify the correct strategies that we can put in place in different countries around the world and make sure that we can try and protect rhinos long into the future.